Hello and welcome to my final project of my final class, which means that this is my final project. And my final project is a how-to guide on creating animated maps using ArcGIS. Now, before I go much further, you're going to hear me referring a lot to GIS in the course of this. And so I just want to establish up front that GIS stands for Geographic Information Systems. Now, geographic information systems are very sophisticated programs that allow you to do mapping and all kinds of analysis using geographically based data, which is also sometimes referred to as geospatial data. I had my first introduction to GIS this past summer when I was able to do an independent study course with Professor Michael Lesk on the subject, and I was quite excited to be able to pursue that further during this class. So for this class, I've got a few basic goals. For starters, I want to provide you all with an overall sense of what GIS is and what it's capable of doing. And in the course of that, of course, expand upon my own knowledge of GIS. And as kind of a bonus, for me, I'm looking at this as an opportunity to learn how to use Prezi and Camtasia software, which I've been wanting to do for some time now. Now I've broken this presentation down into 6 parts. The first of those is the introduction, and as you may have surmised, we are in the midst of the introduction right now. Part 2 is an overview of ArcGIS, where I'm going to try to give you a feel of how to maneuver around within a GIS model, and also give you some understanding of what it is that distinguishes GIS models from other mapping options, such as Google Maps, for example. In the third part, I'll go into where I acquired my data from, and in the part after that, I'll talk about the necessary data formatting, because as we've experienced with some other visualization tools this semester, ArcGIS is a little bit particular in terms of how data has to be formatted. In section 5, I'll go into the creation of the model for this particular project, and I will wrap things up in part 6 by showing you how to create and export an animation using that model. I've divided this into these 6 parts to, well, in part to break things down into sort of bite-sized pieces that are a little bit easier to digest in one sitting, and also in part so that if you're not, say, interested in all this material, you can just jump ahead to whatever is most personally engaging to you. And finally, I just wanted to mention one further option that you have, which is if you get tired of listening to me talk, you're absolutely welcome to just go directly to my Prezi presentation and work your way through that. I've given the URL here, and I think if you just go through that, you'll probably learn much of what I'm trying to communicate here. So that's another option for you. So that concludes my introductory remarks, and I hope to see you in part 2 of my presentation.